Good afternoon and Happy New Year. It's Tuesday, June 30th, here at Assumption, here in the corner of Holy Grounds. And you may or may not be aware that this is New Year's Eve. We begin a new year for our parish tomorrow, and indeed every year on July 1st, a new fiscal year and a new program year. Now this coming year, because many of us are wearing these kinds of things. By the way, I'm still wearing my pandemic perm. I don't know how bad the hat head is right now. But anyway, because of the pandemic, the motto for the coming year is this, an asterisk. Everything that we say, everything that we plan, kind of has an asterisk alongside of it, because we don't know what the future is going to hold. We don't know whether there will be more illness or less disease threatening our lives and chasing us either inside or allowing us to go outside, allowing us as well a greater sense of security to come and worship together. And so, as we've been planning for the coming year, it's all been done in pencil, an asterisk. Not sure, maybe we'll see, and indeed we all will. We do move to the future, filled with hope, because we trust that God is near. And with that trust and with that hope, we will move forward as a family of faith. Now, while lots is unsure, there are a couple of things that we do know for sure. A couple of changes that will be marked by the end of today and this year, the arrival of tomorrow and the next year. And one is going to be a transition in some of our parish leadership. Cathy Converse, who has been here since I arrived. She and I arrived at the same time. She has served you and served me as Pastoral Associate for the parish. Today is her last day. In fact, we're into now her last hours. And she would like to say a word or two to you, so I'm going to scooch over on the couch and hand off to Cathy.
Hi, everyone. It has certainly been maybe going on 4 months since I think this whole pandemic has started, and I haven't really been able to be face-to-face with a lot of you. Today is bittersweet for me, and it certainly is leaving you with not being able to spend time with you, and that has been kind of very heavy on my heart. And so at this time, and I did do my write-up in the bulletin, and I hope you have time to read it. The diocese has been very good to me in all the different parishes that I have been so blessed to be a part of, and many wonderful staffs. And you know, when I was hired here, Father Joe didn't know me, and I didn't really know Father Joe. But we've been good. It's been a good together, and he's been a wonderful pastor and a great boss. And you have been a wonderful parish. I don't say goodbye, I say thank you. Thank you for the opportunities that I have had in ministry here. I have grown to love, and I firmly believe in relationships, and believe in relationships with our God and with one another, and many wonderful people that I have met throughout the years. And Dan, my husband, is going to now, tomorrow, realize that he's going to have a lot of time to spend with me. And I look forward to it. And I think it's been a long time coming, and he's been certainly a wonderful support to me throughout the years in ministry. One last thing I'd like to say to you is, one thing that I have noticed here in Assumption is the great generosity. And this upcoming week in the bulletin, I have put in there how wonderful you have been during this whole COVID thing with your financial gifts to help other people who do not have, were out of work, out of jobs. And also the disaster in the flood. You helped many families in our parish, and through throughout the community with different things. So please take time to read the bulletin and to read the generous hearts and giving hearts that you have. I thank you for the time together, and I can't hug you, but one last thing, because I always like to do a little joke now and then. This is my thank you to you. It's a nice big kiss from me. Love you all. God bless.
Love you, Cathy, and thank you immensely for your years of service, 84 months of service here with me and with this parish family of which we've become part. She mentioned your generosity. She mentioned the response during these last couple of months, and particularly during the flood. And Cathy has, as she has during her whole time of service here to our parish family, she's been the primary, not the only, but the primary point person, helping to organize and challenge us to response to those in need, whether it was winter boots for those whose toes might be cold, backpacks for going back to school, or aid and assistance for those whose homes were impacted by the floods. And once again, we appreciate, we're grateful to her for guiding our generosity in ways that we could do it together and respond to our neighbors in need. And unfortunately, there will always be neighbors who are in need, but fortunately, we will continue to be able to respond to them. So once again, thank you, Cathy, and all best as you go forth into your retirement. As Cathy fades into the sunset, arising in our midst is a new friend, neighbor, family member in the family of faith, and that would be Jean Wiest. Sister Jean will begin tomorrow as serving our parish family as our Pastoral Associate, and will begin the great adventure of her coming to know us and our getting to know her. And I firmly believe and suspect that that adventure of forming, building, and strengthening relationships will be enjoyable for all of us. She will learn about our parish family. She will learn the many gifts that we do share, the good way we do celebrate, and the loving way we reach out. She will learn of our parties and of our peculiarities too. We're not a perfect family, and I think we all are aware of that. Likewise, we will learn of her gifts, those things that bring her joy. I can, just as an aside, say Kat, or rather, got to get those names straight from now on. Jean is an outdoorsy type. She enjoys Michigan's woods. Actually, Wisconsin is where she was born, and she most recently came from Minnesota. She's been in other places during her years of ministry, but certainly the northern Midwest is a place where she feels very much at home, and coming back to the opportunities that we have here in our beautiful water winter wonderland was one of the things that attracted her to accept the call that I had extended to her on our behalf, a call to come and join our family of faith, join our community of leaders, and move with us into the asterisks notwithstanding into our future, to do it with faith, with hope, and with love. And so you will meet Jean as time goes on, perhaps first cyberly, but eventually we can hope those opportunities to look at smiles not hidden by a mask, be able to reach out, shake hands, even embraces, those days will come. We all look forward to that. As we move through this summer that has some unknowns, would mention to you that our Sunday liturgies continue to be available to you in kind of two modes. On our parish YouTube channel, a recording of the Sunday liturgy is posted, typically either late Saturday afternoon or first thing Sunday morning. Again, the idea is that you might maintain that 9:30 place in your family schedule and household calendar as an opportunity to worship, to respond to God's goodness by giving thanks, by listening to God's word, and by joining in that prayer of thanksgiving that God continues to grace us. It's not a grace we can get quite as close to because of the distancing, but by video you can do that. But you can also come in person to Mass. Masses are at the usual times, 4:30 on Saturday and 9:30 Sunday morning. If you do come and when you do arrive, you'll see some different procedures. We have ushers set up. We have hand sanitizer set up. We have pews marked off in order to do what we can, to do as best we can to ensure the ongoing health and well-being of all who arrive. Probably, maybe even as early as next week, we'll give you a little video tour of what it looks like here. It's not vastly different, but it is somewhat altered. And again, we have been using some different procedures because of the circumstances of the ongoing epidemic and the virulency of the virus. One of the things that has been discussed is perhaps having a Mass outside, a Mass that people could come, for instance, to in their vehicles, a parking lot Mass. And we're thinking that through. We're trying as well to learn from the experience of others. For instance, not this weekend, but next, I believe it is, St. Bridget's is going to try I'll call it a parking lot Mass for the first time, and we'll see how it goes. If that's something that might be of interest to you, you might want to take the time to let us know, and even to volunteer to help us to work through some of the if, ands, and buts, nuts and bolts that would be required by such a service. Again, we encourage you to use the Facebook page of the parish, the website of the parish for information. Briefly, for the month of July, it begins tomorrow, our intent would be that we would maintain basically what we have been doing for the last roughly 6 weeks, doing in terms of offering Masses. We have Mass Wednesday morning and Thursday morning at 9 o'clock, informing you of what we're doing by way of the bulletin. Again, many of you, in fact, most of you received the bulletin as an email attachment. It is also available on our website and a link through our Facebook page, and some of you receive it in the mail, paper copies. But it would tell you Masses Wednesday and Thursday during the week at 9 o'clock, and as I mentioned a couple of moments ago, 4:30 Saturday afternoon and 9:30 Sunday morning. And as I say, we're considering other alternatives, other ways of continuing to maintain our Catholic connection, maintain open and hearts and ears to a God who is calling us to love, calling us to love one another, calling us to love one another as we have been loved, as God has loved us. And so as we sort of celebrate New Year's Eve, as we say goodbye, or so long for now, to one who has been a faithful friend and servant leader of our parish family for 7 years now, as we look forward to welcoming a new friend, another sister of our parish family. I wish you all the best. Hopefully the asterisks will fade, and indeed this new year will become happier and happier and happier for us, for our parish family, for our nation. We're counting down to the 4th of July, so I hope you have a safe and happy 4th as kind of an afterthought here. But for our nation, that this will be a year of joy and justice to be shared and celebrated as we grow into our future, and that it will especially be happy for the little ones. The gospel last week talked about the little ones, and this week again, Jesus will speak to us of the little ones, those who deserve and whom Christ commends to our special care. And the little ones is not a measure of size, how tall, how heavy or light they are. It is a measure of those who are in need, those who struggle, those without power, those who look to us for help, and if we look away, they have no one to help. Again, Cathy did a good job of helping us all to respond to those in need. We look forward to Jean joining in and leading our response, and to sharing the gifts God has given as we continue to live as a Catholic community of celebration, service, and growth. May we find good growth in the year ahead, much to celebrate, and a willingness, an ever-growing willingness to serve. Happy New Year.